Recently, I read I Who Have Never Known Men, and I thought it was a very interesting, thought provoking, and beautifully written book, but in a sense, I disagreed with it. So that's why overall I rated it 3.75 stars, but honestly, for me, it kind of flip flops in between 3.75 and 4 stars. I really appreciated how disconnected the narrator felt from herself and others. And I really appreciated also her desire to know because I found it very relatable. And they were really interesting character traits to read about and explore with the author as the story developed. I also really enjoyed the mystery of the world. I found it very, very compelling, especially with how little was revealed. Additionally, I enjoyed the frankness at how horrifying humans could be, along with how good they can be too, because humans are both horrifying and good. And I really appreciated that aspect of the novel. However, the exploration of humanity and femininity in this book was missing depth, and I think a big reason for that is all but two of the characters were not very well characterized. They just felt like plot devices. And that's completely fine. They served their plot device purpose well. But I think that took away from the book. Also, additionally, I think that the entire group didn't quite behave like I think humans would completely. And the reason I think this is because there's not really any art in this book. It's really only mentioned when they specified that there's music, like a morning song for the dead. And at the very end, when she comes across a bunker and she also writes her memoir, which is art. She's creating art. They don't paint, draw, write. They don't create new stories, oral storytelling. They don't carve anything. Another time art is mentioned is when they discuss and decide to leave marks behind in order to say to other groups of people, hey, we're out here, and they also don't want to lose their way. But essentially, art is mentioned in this book, but just kind of really glossed over. Humans have been creating art since humans have existed. So the lack of exploration of art, and I was kind of surprised. The lack of exploration of creativity is what slightly mars this book for me. Like, the women who remember their past lives, they talk about their memories, but I just find it unbelievable that they wouldn't talk about like books they read or make up new stories. Like I said, oral storytelling, especially if they remember their lives before. Like, I find it highly unbelievable that they would only talk about their memories and not in like a storytelling way. The narrator at one point says, I had never seen human created beauty when she discovers the bunker with all the stuff from before in it. And honestly, that's really unbelievable to me. You can't tell me that a group of humans wouldn't have created art, especially if they have any memories at all of their lives before. No drawing in the dirt, no carving or weaving, or like adding ornamentation to their houses. The group of human women in this book don't behave how I think humans would. Something is missing. It just needs a little more. I also wanted to talk about The Afterword by Sophie McIntosh. This is a quote from it. She is as much an alien as the planet she lives on, which is honestly something I disagree with because neither the character or the planet were alien to me. It was just the circumstances that were, but not her or the natural world. The Afterword also talks about how she grew up without a culture, societal constructs, or knowledge, which is objectively wrong. Throughout the entire book, you see her culture and societal constructs change. For instance, Within the bunker, you see an established social hierarchy, with the oldest woman being sort of the leader, and their behavior is shaped due to their circumstances there, and they have this culture of no physical contact. Granted, that is because of the circumstances they're in, but that is a part of their culture. They talk quietly. There's also the ritual of preparing their meals, the hair to make thread, you know, reusing their clothes. All of that is an example of culture and social constructs within the bunker. Also, when they escape, their culture changes. The ritual they develop of going to witness the dead and check each cage in the bunker, thus paying respects to the dead, is a cultural practice. She still does this when she's the last one alive and she's completely alone. She also takes part in the ritual of performing mercy killings. That is a part of their culture. Another thing said in the afterword is that the narrator is in the unique position to be a person without the signifiers of personhood. And I also disagree with this. She is definitely in a unique position, but she's not without the signifiers of personhood. She has her own thoughts and feelings, and she takes her own actions. So of course she has the signifiers of personhood. She is a person. She grows and changes throughout the book. And this is all issues specific to the afterword, and I just felt like they were important to talk about. The afterword was really interesting. So honestly, overall, I thought it was a really good book. It was just missing some aspects. It might have been a little bit better if it was a little bit longer. It's very thought-provoking and interesting, and I would definitely recommend that you read it.